Welcome to my Dark Heresy Warhammer 40k tier list for my players in my campaign. Currently, we're on mission 7. I will judge past and present players, and I will use very specific criteria. We will begin with the Chinese phenomenon, Samuel, Sasha. Sasha has an incredible ability to roleplay. His character has a firm place in the world. He's not just following the plot, he brings him to life. Every time there is an ability to investigate something or look into a topic, he will do that. He will research it. He will vividly describe taking out the data slate, making notes, pulling the notes together, making critical assessments, reason, investigation. He paints pictures and adds weight to every scene. He also stays immersed, engaging with the setting, as if he was an actual acolyte in the world. He is there as one of the top performers, visually describing his actions, and he also verbally speaks his actions, remaining focused and engaged through the entire game. As far as I know, he's not distracted, and his voice quality is good enough. I've never had any problem with his voice during the gameplay. Occasionally the quality will be bad when we're chatting, but that's because he's in his car on his phone. But while we play, it is always immaculate. Next up is his dialect and his voice. He has a deep, deep voice. And it is almost like he's pondering, like he's deep in thought while he's speaking. And that fits his character perfectly. He sounds thoughtful. His speechalia, you might say, is on point. He's not one of the weak performers who lack oomph and that extra weight behind his words. You care about what he does. You care when Sasha does something in the game. And he also stays in character through the entire game, pays attention, has effective scenes, and takes notes. There are no serious violations of notes, nothing that breaks the character's immersion, so I'm going to land here on S tier, top tier acolyte. Next we have Chris. Chris is a British player who joined the sessions pretty recently. He has a great ability to roleplay. His character is often detached, but in a fun way, as if a veteran of sorts. She's an assassin, so of course the fact that she's jaded makes a lot of sense. She will often engage with combat in a very narrative-focused way, describing actions vividly and making an impact on the combat. They also go by very quickly, and Chris is able to roleplay without dragging anyone down, while supporting whatever character is driving the current scene. His immersion is good, engaging with the setting and role-playing as if he was there. Perhaps, occasionally, there is some lack of focus. There have been a couple of times where he was distracted, looking at a different thing or being away from the screen, but these are few and far between. Most of the time he is there, visually describing his actions and verbally speaking them. His voice quality is good, and his voice, of course, being a native English speaker, is better than most. He is engaging to listen to, and his actions often mimic the type of fanaticism you would expect from an acolyte of the Inquisition. He role-plays this fanaticism well, never role-playing someone who is nihilistic or detached, but he is always engaged in the story. His dialect is, of course, perfect, being a native English speaker. Nothing to put down there. And he stays in character most of the game. There are occasions where he will speak out of character, but that chatting and out of character talk often fits that scene or supports the player that is currently role-playing. Serious violations, none really to mention. He doesn't undermine the collaborative spirit. He doesn't question realism of events. I've never heard him comment on anyone's roleplay or the realism, perhaps once or twice. So this will land him firmly in the A tier. A great role player. Next, we will look at Olu. Olu has been in our campaign for many years, but he is recently away. Now his roleplay is great. Whenever he does roleplay, it is immersive, in character. He speaks in character. He roleplays the fanaticism and verbally speaks his actions with clarity and intent. Instead of just saying he rolls, he will describe visually what he does, and he will voice act every scene. His immersion is great. He stays engaged, but there have been occasions where he's been distracted, mentally absent, and even away. So I'm going to drag a whole category down there. That is not good. Voice quality, pretty good, not great. I would say that lands him in the A tier. His dialect is, of course, great as a native English speaker. He stays in character, roleplays his character well, and he stays in character most of the time. Not always, and he does not always pay attention. Sometimes going away from the screen. He has had serious violations where he disappears from the game, disappears from role-playing entirely, and for that reason, he lands in the B tier. Next up, we're going to look at Malachi. Malachi played in our campaign a long time ago, so I'm quickly going to go through the criteria. His role-playing ability is great. Excellent immersion, excellent visual descriptions, verbally speaking his actions with clarity, and every time there is something happening, he's excited and engaged, immersed, and the voice quality is okay. Dialect is Australian. I'm going to give this person an A tier. Next up, we will look at Ripsaw, Joe. Joe is an old character. Ripsaw is an old character who has been with us almost since the beginning, and he has role-played very well the entire time. He always stays with his character's essence. His motivations are clear, his personality is clear. He wants machine transformation, and he is always running into misunderstanding with the other players. He's always pondering the philosophy behind his choice of approaching a machine. And this is weaved into every scene. His dynamic with the doggo, the dog, is absolutely fantastic. His scenes are quick and effective. His combat is quick and effective. His immersion is fantastic, always visually describing his actions in evocative detail. He's always verbally speaking in character with his voice in top-notch voice quality. And his dialect when he speaks is fantastic in this Mechanicus binary screeching and binary prayer. He has an amazing distinction to his roleplay. He stays in character the entire game. He has never spoken out of character, always pays attention, is quick and effective, no out of character banter, occasionally joining in on a joke, extremely well suited, pays attention, considers other players, considers the game, the overall tone, and there are no violations. He has never gone away from the game, he has never interrupted or questioned any realism or questioned an event. The only time he speaks up is when he has an opportunity to join in on the role-playing, which lands him firmly in the S tier. Next, we will look at one of the oldest players in this campaign, Tavi, Octavian from Romania. Look at that beautiful, beautiful face. My goodness, what a beautiful man. His eyes are magnetic. You could almost get lost just looking at him. He certainly drew the genetic lottery ticket, the gold ticket. He is a beautiful man. He has his way with anyone he wants. And my God, look at that face. Beautiful. His role-playing? His role-playing? Well, what can I say? His role-playing effectively embodies his character's very essence, driving his motivation forward, showcasing his personality, decision-making, his past, his devotion, his priesthood. He cares about the piety of the people around him. He holds sermons that are gripping, visually describing and verbally describing his actions, describing his attacks vividly. It is almost too perfect. He hits the balance between description and role-playing and sets the tone in every scene. He articulates his actions and engages the story. His immersion is tangible. In this oppressive reality, dark heresy, the galaxy is filled with decay, lack of faith and dread. But his character is always breaking through, as if screaming out from the abyss for his friends to stay engaged, to stay hopeful, demanding a visceral response from his fellow role players. This is one of the top performances of this game. Verbally speaking his actions, reinforcing the mood, whispering desperately into the vox bead. You need to fight. You need to believe in the Emperor. I can feel it now, sitting here. His focus, his mental clarity, never skipping between tabs. He's like a flute that is perfectly in tune and that drives us from scene to scene. His voice quality is immaculate, but his dialect, oh, his dialect. A good dialect focuses the player's mastery of the Gothic, archaic language and the setting and terminology. Yes, yes, he speaks the terminology, the throne, the heretic, the voidborn. But it is a grounding, screeching, infuriating, thick, almost vampiric accent that sounds like you're in Dracula's castle and the walls are ringing with his screeching, horrific dialect. The formal complaint that you might levy towards this performance ignores the mere torture of listening to this abysmal dialect. However, he has an incredible ability to stay in character. His ability to maintain fully his character's mindset, taking a map of the world, drawing it down, pulling on it, decisively, in character, effectively driving the scene forward, paying attention. That's critical. He's never distracted, never looking at other tabs. He's always on the ball, quick. His words aligns with his character's perspective. No violations, no out of character banter, no rules debates, irrelevant jokes. And he carries the immersion like a crystal in the palm of his hand. It is a joy to listen to. There are no serious violations to think of. His infractions are minor, and for all these years of unwavering, fantastic roleplay, this beautiful, beautiful man will get a solid S tier. But because of the dialect, he slides down and lands firmly in the A category. Next up, we have someone called Peter, a stray homeless man from Norway. He recently contacted me on Discord, pleading for help. Help, help, help. I can't stop dating Latinas, is what he said. Big booty Latinas. He can't stop falling in love with them. Is it because of... Well, I'm not going to theorize. But his role-playing, I will say, is top-notch. He's always in character, follows the plot. His acolyte has intense choice-making. Whether he plays a tech priest or a priest or some other psychic, he stays within his role. His ogre roleplay was fantastic, visually describing all of his actions. When his character died, that scene is still etched into our minds. For example, when he ran up the mountain, he said a last word to his friends and then fell to his knees and screamed out for them to run before falling down. And he spent a full minute visually describing the beauty of an ogre falling in a jungle. Just the strength of role-playing to be able to do that speaks to his ability to paint pictures and add weight to the moment. He has quick and effective scenes. He can deliver concise, impactful actions without dragging out his turn. He's a strong role player. His immersion is good. It's good. He has good responses. He adds to the immersion by visually describing his actions. He is also verbally speaking his actions, but sometimes he gets a little distracted. Maybe there's an open tab, someone sending him a message, which of course he should completely ignore in favor of role-playing his character. He stays in focus, stays locked into the game almost the entire time. He's never mentally absent, never flipping between Discord and YouTube, never fracturing the table's atmosphere. He adds to the horror and triumph. His voice quality is perfect. He never lapses into his everyday voice, never speaks out of character. He always uses the right terminology. He has verbally spoken actions, beautiful, beautiful in-character dialogue, and his voice role-playing is some of the best in the game. Absolutely top-notch. Now his dialect is the beautiful, fantastic Norwegian dialect, which is one of the most immersive dialects for the Warhammer 40k universe, because it is gritty, it is rough, it is slightly Germanic, but impossible to place. So you can sound both elegant and tough at the same time, and jaded when you need to be. He is never cursing or verbally speaking out of turn. He tailors his specialia to his character's background. He never has a weak performance. He uses modern phrases for the Warhammer 40k setting, and he never breaks the narrative's cohesion. He stays in character, fully immersed in the mindset of his character. He is a top-tier player, responding to every moment as his character would, without breaking the illusion. Quick and effective scenes, pays attention, he is never distracted. He occasionally goes away from the screen, but he does write that he will be right back. So he never engages in any out-of-character talk, never irrelevant jokes, and he never shatters the immersion. This is good. However, there are some early violations. There have been a couple of times where he disappeared from the game, or where his focus and engagement left some to be desired. A top-tier player, landing firmly in the S category, but because of his serious violations, which we hope he will improve in the future, he will land firmly in the A category. Next up, we have Cooper. Cooper is one of the most recent players to this campaign. His role-playing is effectively fantastic. He has an ability to make his character come to life. His character's essence is felt. His motivations, personality, his decision-making is always fitting, is always suitable for the scene. Even within the narrative, he stands out and he adds to the scene that the others are playing out. Never taking too much space and never too little. He brings his character to life as an ogre with his vivid, unique choices and his unique take and perspective on everything. He adds levity, perhaps a tad too much at times, but nothing does destroy the immersion. And he paints beautiful pictures, adding to the weight of every moment. His quick and effective scenes are critical. He never draws it out or spends too much time. And his immersion is fantastic. His ogre roleplay is tangible. You feel his lack of IQ and brain cells. You feel that he struggles to understand the surrounding world, but he's really there. He's really engaging with it. And when he can figure something out, He doesn't purposely hold back for comedic purposes. He acts on it. The Ogren is able to act on his reasoning, however shallow. And when he does, it is decisive and focused. He is always locked into the game, undistracted by open tabs. But there has been one time where he was distracted, where I had to call on his name to come to the PC. And that is an infraction. Whether it was switching between YouTube and Discord, he is mostly present. His voice quality is perfect. His voice is soothing, smooth and wonderful. It oils our ears, picks me up on my seat while we're playing. I'm sitting there paying attention to every word. His hive world experiences are engaging. His mind is unique. I wonder what he thinks about this. I wonder what his mind is going to ponder next. Every moment is exciting. He never jumps back into his everyday voice. His voice quality and role-playing is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Dialect, of course, is wonderful. He's a native English speaker. He stays in character. But there are a couple of times where he struggles paying attention. A couple of times where the role-playing slips a little bit. He's not fully role-playing as an ogre, or he has been away from the screen, and this is a violation of our rules. Certain behaviors are serious, very, very serious, and carry significant penalties. He has never said comments or commented on role-playing or the game's narrative, but he has been away and missed key elements of the story. Of course, that can be on me for not writing notes properly, and of course, because of being a new player. So we're going to ignore those violations because he's a very fresh player, he's very new, and his sharp dedication to role-playing is an absolute joy to witness. Landing him firmly in the A tier. Next, we have a Scottish man hailing from the highlands of Scotland with originally an English heritage. Being fully English genetically, his, well, bone structure is perhaps weak and leaves some to be desired. But his role-playing is amazing. Being one of the oldest players in the campaign, figuratively and literally, he has his character's essence down to a T. Whether he's playing a psyker or a commissar, it is always immersive. He's always in that character. He's never jumping out of it to comment on something he doesn't understand or something the character wouldn't care about. Quick and effective scenes. He delivers concise, impactful actions without dragging it out. And his role-playing is his strongest feat. This is incredible. His immersion is tangible. He stays in character the entire game. He is, in his current character, a crucible of decay, dread. You can feel the warp around this character, the visceral warp presence of her. It is a top performance, bringing the immersion into every scene as he visually describes his actions, like the psychic chill of the presence of the warp, as he meticulously inspects a corrupted relic. He verbally speaks his actions and reinforces the mood of the game, and he never mumbles or whispers. He is always focused and engaged, never mentally absent, and he almost never goes away from the screen. This is one of the best players you can have in a game, because he's always there. You can always rely on him to roleplay, and you can always rely on him to add to the scenes. His voice quality is good. Pretty good. Occasionally he has connection issues. There's occasionally some kind of storm or weather. They haven't mastered the ability to build proper power supply in Scotland. So occasionally his power goes down and he struggles to speak, he struggles to be understood. His voice quality though is mostly good. And after he got his new microphone, I will say, the voice quality is a clear A. That's an A. Now, his dialect. His dialect is horrid, abysmal. The thick Scottish accent drives into your bones like a nail, like a rusted nail that inches closer and closer to the bone. It's an archaic, rough language. You can almost hear the bagpipes in the distance. So this is, it's like we're in the Middle Ages. It's like, are we in the Middle Ages now? Just learn American, learn to speak properly. His terminology is old, ancient. It's like, yeah, okay. It doesn't ground him in the game world, because we're always wondering if he's out on the mounds with his sheeps and he's lost in the mountains. It's a dialect just driving us wild into this insane hypnotic droning on and on. It's almost like a binaric, but it's bad. It's immersion breaking. It's slang and decree and weak, like a weak form of Norwegian almost that became deformed on after centuries of being isolated and away from civilization, probably with very primitive tools, very primitive. So it's a very weak dialect, I would say. His ability to stay in character is good. I'd say it's good enough. He doesn't always break the illusion, but sometimes his accent just breaks through, and I can't believe that this psyker would speak like a 1500s knight or like a peasant in the field, like with bagpipes and sheep. It just doesn't work. It's out of character because the dialect is not believable to be in the Warhammer 40k universe. And this breaks the immersion. And I have to really penalize this very, very, very heavily. The behavior, I think, of his role-playing during the sessions is good, generally good. But he will receive a significant penalty because, well, quite frankly, he's getting old, and sometimes his mind just wanders off. He begins stuttering. He gets distracted, and I think his mind is wandering off somewhere outside. It's almost like his body is there, his spirit is willing, but his mind is absent and wandering. And it begins to mix different concepts. It begins to forget things. It gets really troublesome. We have to remind them, no, you're in the game with us. You're playing the game with us. And then he wakes up and gotta. And then the focus is not really there. Also, he has a tendency to fall asleep. He will suddenly fall asleep during the game. He will just zone out. Apparently, he looks out of the window a lot while we play. Whether he's looking at his sheep or the clouds or something, he occasionally just drifts off and disappears. And this really drags the atmosphere down. We have to call, like, Aaron, are you there? Are you there, Aaron? So I'm gonna draw that a serious infraction on that, drawing it way, way, way down from what would otherwise be a very high score, we're gonna drag it down. Actually, no, beyond the C. I think we're gonna land firmly in the D category, I think, for this roleplay. So that was the list, the tier lists for my players. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will make the next video soon.